Clap.
We are currently being
clap.
We're currently being held hostage. We are being forced to do our show against our will.
I didn't ask to be here.
Yes.
It's okay.
He forced Austin into a trouble seat, and he's making us do our regular show. Welcome to what are you doing, bro?
They say blink a lot like that if you're like in trouble.
Oh, okay. It's like, what the hell? I thought that was how you come on. That was your thing. Trouble says never love supremacy. You just blink a lot. All right. My name is Jasiri X. I am. Welcome to This Week in White Supremacy. We all thrown off. Yes, I'm co-founder and CEO of One Hood Media, and to my immediate rights. And is that mauve? Is that what you would call it?
I don't know. Mauve, pink, purple, something.
Yes.
It's your girl, Miracle Jones. Is that good better this year? Hashtag big blessing with the big blessing. You know, I'm here holding it down for the people.
Miracle Hive in full effect. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
and we have a new person.
Yes.
Would you like to introduce yourself, sir? Who are you?
The voice of the millennials, as I've been told.
VOM in the building.
VOM. Here for the millennials. QRX. Austin.
DJ QRX in the
sir.
building, a.k.a. Austin, a.k.a. Voice.
I need some horns or something, bro.
Voice of the millennials, yeah.
I'll take some gunshots. That one. Oh, wait. Well,
he needs like some, maybe, I don't know, that might be inappropriate to have a bunch of teenage girls clapping, or I don't know. I don't know what the millennial voice, the millennials will be cheering for you, brother.
Grand opening, grand closing.
And, our brother Trouble NLS is at South by Southwest.
Holding it down.
You know what I'm saying? Representing One Hood with Jasmine. They're there holding it down. So he's having a fun. He's drinking Trouble rum punches.
Niggas love the South.
Austin is ready. And we have another new person, right?
With the shiesty.
Trouble's not here. Who are you, sir? Who are you? Wait, what are you going in the bag for? What did you pull out? Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
What is happening right now?
What is going on? You got the... Oh, my God. You're doing the Ja Morant. You're doing the Ja Morant. Oh, see? That's what happens when you be listening to Lil Durk, man. You know what I'm saying? Pooh Shiesty. He got on a Pooh Shiesty mask.
What are you doing?
He's trying to emulate modern hip-hop music.
I'm calling HR.
Who is this man?
Did you want to introduce yourself?
Ja Morant.
Saeed Morant. Is that what we going with?
I don't think people get the bit.
No face, no case. That's all.
That's your name. No face, no case.
I plead the fifth.
Are you going to leave that on the entire show?
Leave what on?
So I guess since you now let me ask you a question. No face, no case. Is that your? You know what I'm saying? Would you say your outfit and your mask, which would you call that mask again?
The Pooh Shiesty.
The Shiesty.
Would you say that it is inspired by modern rap music, sir?
No.
It's a winter
That's
garb.
a babe joint.
It's winter garb.
You wasn't wearing that last year, brother.
Skin from the elements.
You wasn't wearing that in 09, brother. Okay.
It's just a ski mask.
No, it's a Pooh Shiesty named after. For those that don't know, Pooh Shiesty is a well-known rapper. What is it? Back in Blood, right? Had a big hit song. And where's Pooh Shiesty now?
Jail.
In prison.
Because hip hop police won't
give him the knowledge. Give him the knowledge.
Prison.
The man, we've been wearing this on road for a long time.
Give him the knowledge. Give him the
because
knowledge.
it's ski mask.
Show me five pictures of you with a mask like that. You don't have none.
Who?
No face. No pictures. I want them now.
Why would I take pictures in this?
Oh, do you have security cam footage of you in it?
Allegedly.
We don't.
It wasn't me. My lawyer advised me not to say anything. So no comment.
So we've been having an ongoing
self-incrimination.
We've been having an ongoing debate over the last couple of days.
Okay.
About what was going on with Ja Morant. Right.
Let's point out that he was in the safety.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's put it in context before we get into you. Okay. For those that don't know, Ja Morant is an NBA basketball player. He is one of the best, he might be the best young star. He was Rookie of the Year. He's playing amazing basketball. He just signed a huge Nike contract. Nike let Kyrie go and then introduced their new star, Ja Morant. I think he just signed to Powerade, right? Where Powerade was like, y'all ain't seen us in a long time. Guess what? We coming back with Ja Morant. And so he's a huge, huge star, but he has been having some issues. Some of his issues have come to light, and it's around, I guess, people thinking he's trying to be gangster, or maybe the people around him, right? There was an incident where supposedly somebody's entourage pointed a laser sight at the Indiana Pacers basketball team bus. Right now, the NBA investigated. They didn't find any evidence that happened. However, one member of entourage was banned. Right then, the Washington said, because y'all had the shiesties on, they couldn't find no evidence. Then the Washington Post put a story out that said he got in an altercation with a 17-year-old. And that 17-year-old alleged that he came out of the house with a gun in his waistband and his hand on the gun. Again, Ja's lawyer said that has not been authenticated. You know what I'm saying? I know that's probably not the wrong word, but that, that's all allegedly, right? There's no evidence. Ja was not charged. He didn't go to jail or anything. And then there was another case where supposedly his mom got in an argument at a mall. Him and his entourage come up to the mall. They mushed a security guard and threatened him. Again, none of that has been, Ja didn't get arrested. I don't know if there's a police report, but none of that.
All alleged.
Right. And then, right after all of this comes out, Ja decided to go to a nightclub in Denver, a gentleman's club, as they call it. You know what I'm saying? A strip club in Denver. He went on his own IG Live and he pulled his gun up on IG Live. Oh, no, he didn't. You shot.
Allegedly.
Hey.
Shots fired. That is why.
Don't come over here with that.
That is why you need correct gun ownership and training and safety. What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
These shiesty niggas are different.
Yes. So Ja held a gun up on his IG Live. He's been
We're not going to be able
suspended.
to play this episode.
YouTube is going to ban us.
We're going to get demonetized.
We're not going to screen this episode because they keep shooting.
What was I saying? Oh, he's been indefinitely suspended, I guess. They first said 2 games, and they said, he's out whenever he's going to come back. He issued a statement saying that he was going to, get some help and do some inner reflection. And so here we are, right? And so, but it does. So I blame rap music. I blame the Littles. I blame Lil Baby, Lil Durk. I blame rap music. And I say that to say, we had an interview with Rick Ross, the original. And the first question we asked him, he said, "Hey, Rick, man, you've been out here. You might be the biggest drug dealer of all time by name recognition. What's wrong with the young people today?" And he said, "Rap music." He said he wanted to play tennis. He saw Superfly, became one of the biggest drug dealers of all time. I blame rap music for messing with Ja Morant's mind. You said, Miracle, you put your legal defense team hat on, and you said he was doing what?
He was just exercising his Second Amendment right.
Okay, his Second Amendment right.
As a black man, he has a right to hold a gun, to possess a gun. He's from Tennessee. That is an open carry
South Carolina.
state. Tennessee? Is South Carolina?
I thought the team is in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
That's an open carry state. He is following the rules. You want people to be able to possess guns, to have guns. You have to think about that. That's also going to include black people. So if he wants it in the safety of his car.
He was not in his car. He was inside of
the
club in the gentleman's establishment,
in the privacy of his little
section of the club,
show his gun.
He looked like he was on a dance floor, but
little pocket rocket.
You can do in an open carry environment. And I know people are like, oh, it shouldn't have been a gun, all type of stuff. But listen, you make stupid laws, you win stupid prizes.
Okay, so you brought. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
And it was a very small.
It was a small guy.
It was half the size of that.
Ironically, the place that he was at was called Shotgun Willie's.
Not the bullet trap.
Ironically. Now you made some good points, right? Because Colorado police are investigating this now. And you're right. In Colorado, it's an open carry state. However, it is illegal to possess a firearm while under the influence of alcohol. And, so now, I didn't watch his IG Live. He was
drinking water.
We don't know what he was drinking. He might not even drink.
Juice.
You know what I'm saying? Jesus juice.
It was Jesus juice.
So, but wouldn't there be wine? Isn't Jesus juice wine?
It's water.
Oh, I thought it was wine.
The first miracle, by the way, in the Bible.
Yes.
What did he do?
Yes, what did he do?
The wine.
It's a party.
Hey.
So they're investigating. They're also saying NBA rules prohibit a player from possessing a firearm while on team property or traveling on team business. So it's not clear if it was his gun, if it was just somebody, maybe he got a friend in Denver that he said bring that strap by just in case. Yes.
So when players go out to establishments post the game, is that considered traveling for team business?
No, I don't think no. But the question is, so this is like, if it's his gun, right, then he would have had to bring it with him from Memphis to Denver. They're in Denver. They're not in Memphis.
Which means he flew with that.
Which means he brought the gun onto a team
His
plane.
His cousin drove the gun to the establishment. Continue.
From Tennessee to Denver. That's a long drive.
How you know this?
So that's what I'm saying. So that's the question. Like, right? Is it his gun? Whose gun is it?
Or is it even a gun?
But you don't think that, like, here's Ja.
We don't. It could be a fake gun. It could be a replica gun. It could be a resin remodel. We don't know what it is.
I don't know if No Face plans to talk. I don't know if we can hear him through the mask.
Scared at right now.
Yeah, No Face. So because I think I'm not arguing that Ja doesn't have a right to carry. He's an American. That's all we talk about is people carrying guns. In a second, Jon Stewart just came and just demolished that guy around gun legislation. They don't want no one to get registered. They don't want no background checks. They want everybody to have a gun. But I guess my question is, like, should Ja Morant be flashing this gun on his IG Live? What is he doing?
He's still in his 20s. His mind is not fully developed, number one. But number two, he's stressed out. Like, his parents are acting a fool.
Gotta shoot somebody when I get stressed. Gotta put a cap in the nigga ass.
What is wrong with you? Stop. Like, oh my God. His dad is over here arguing with people.
Yeah.
His own franchise is trying to ban his friends and family.
Are they?
From the establishment.
Because they keep pointing lasers at guns at people?
So he's going through a lot. And then people keep trying him. So he's trying to figure out how he's his own person, how to control his family, how to be a big brand, and also how to stay loyal to his community while dealing with a lot of pressure.
So you got to let niggas know with the pocket rocket in the video.
If you run up, get done up.
If you run up, I'm going to pull this out my sock.
I don't know. But then also we know, like, athletes are being targeted and people are being robbed right now going out. So if he's trying to defend himself, what is the issue? But I will also argue that people don't like that Ja has just embraced a certain element of the Memphis population and has been a little too urban for their comfort, which is why everyone is just trying to remind him, like, you don't have to do this.
But,
why are you so thugged out? I think people feel uncomfortable. Like, after Allen Iverson, I don't think people really feel comfortable with people actually trying.
Well, so I think a couple of things, Miracle. And like I said, I want to bring...
Leave him alone. Voice of the millennials, what do you think?
No, wait. No, before you bring you in, and that was the thing, like, so one of the things that came up on this is Ja Morant is not like from the hood, quote unquote, right? He was raised by a good family, mother and father. He went to private schools. He's a basketball player. He went to college, of course, and got an MBA. So people had actually called him out previously in the 21-22 season and was saying, like, yo, he's trying to be a fake tough guy. And Ja Morant responded to one of the people, find something safe to do, little bruh. And then the person responded, my bad, I didn't know you was pussy whipped. And Ja Morant's response was, it's free to see how hollows feel.
He was threatened. And he had to defend himself.
How was he threatened? My bad, didn't know you were pussy whipped? Did he think somebody was going to come with an actual lash to his back?
Possibly did. Growing up in the suburbs, having to deal with like white supremacy and violence all the time. Maybe he's just hypersensitive to the way people come at him. Mm-hmm.
So, Austin, you're the voice of the millennials. I mean, again, like I said, we just named him now. Just put all the millennials on your back.
I got y'all.
And like I said, he grew up in the suburbs. This is my take. And it's real. He grew up in the suburbs, went to private schools. To me, the only reason he would want to be gangster is because he's watching rap culture and how these artists are celebrated for being gangster, and their music, they're talking about gangsters and robbing people and shooting people. And so you want to be part of that. So now you got to have guns around you, and you got to have, you know what I'm saying? Because why else would a NBA player that just signed a $200 million deal? If Ja Morant feels threatened, Miracle, Ja Morant has security wherever he goes. He's one of the biggest, most recognizable. You think you're going to run up on LeBron outside with his family? No. LeBron has security. You are not going to run up on him. And LeBron, he ain't running around carrying, showing guns and doing all that. You know what I'm saying? So it's he has security. He doesn't need to have a gun. He doesn't need to have thugs around. The NBA has FBI people,
thugs and hood and all type of stuff. Because can we just divorce ourselves from the idea?
From the titles,
right? He and his family are just doing stuff that you and your family do. If somebody tries your mom, what do? You and your cousins, you go and figure out who is disrespected. He's just moving as a family.
I agree with that. Okay. So Miracle,
thug behavior.
Let's say you have a brother and he plays basketball and he's playing a game and you feel like somebody fouled him a little bit too hard.
We got around the field.
You're gonna pull the blicky. Hey yo,
what was the lady?
Watch your foul.
What was the lady from Basketball Wives who ran and got in the fight when her husband was Jackie?
Oh yeah.
You gotta be out there. But I think he's just doing normal stuff that kids his age do. That young
kids that are influenced, right? No,
I mean people out here doing Columbine and stuff. Nobody's blaming that on
I am.
hip-hop.
I'm not blaming it on hip hop. I'm blaming it on Donald Trump. It's Trump's fault.
I don't think he's
January 6th is Trump's fault.
Replicating stuff. It's him and his cousins. Were all his cousins also in the suburbs?
Do you know if these people related to him? Miracle, these people we don't know anything about his entourage.
That's what I was going to say.
But have you seen the way his dad act? You think his dad was just suburban?
Again, no. But like I said, I mean, his dad, of course, that's his son. And so his dad,
these private schools on scholarship.
If I'm watching my son play a game and I see somebody roll up on my son from out of the stands, I'm going to go hold my son down. And I thought how, and the thing I loved most about how his dad handled that situation is they hugged it out at the end. Him and Shannon Sharp came at the end. They hugged it out. That's mature black male energy. I was with that. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciated that. You know what I'm saying? So, voice of the millennials, we didn't get to you. Why does Ja, is Ja trying?
Austin's not a millennial.
I'm actually Gen Z.
Thank you.
Gen Z.
Oh, God damn. We done fucked it.
Voice of the Gen Zs.
Voice of the Gen Z.
We're millennials.
We're millennials.
Yeah.
Okay, voice of the Gen Z. Okay, voice of the Z's. All right,
voice
so for the Z's, right?
Come on.
Is Ja trying to be gangster?
I don't know. I mean, you gotta look at his entourage, like you said, right? And then it's
Lil Baby.
He ain't hanging with Lil Baby though, is he?
What's the nigga's name, right?
Lil Durk is
Moneybag Yo.
Moneybag.
All in his entourage.
They from Memphis.
I mean, right. And then it's looking how he grew up. none of us really know Ja Morant.
We don't.
So like, he may have been like this in high school, but like,
been like what? Like at the private high school, bringing guns to threaten the rich white children that he's in school with. What type of person is he?
Yo, well, you got my term paper, bro. I need an A minus at the least, nigga. An A minus at the least, nigga.
Look, but like, yeah, I mean, like Miracle said, you know, he's young, right? And it's just like, you get a lot of money when you're young, and he may have already been attracted to all these things already, like coming up.
What could possibly make him attracted to
that lifestyle?
Going to strip clubs and carrying guns. I have no idea.
I can't speak for that.
Is it something? Like, could it be some type of culture, maybe?
Southern culture. It is like
you gotta stay strapped, stay ready. You know what I'm saying?
South, but no, in the South, you go to strip clubs. It's normal. It's not.
No. Yeah. I'm not dissing that. That was a joke. Just because a lot of hip hop, you know, is made for the strip club. That was a joke.
Did y'all switch places because you're very MAGA Muslim?
Very MAGA Muslim. I was going to say that. We got a new MAGA Muslim.
I'm feeling MAGA Muslim. Because you know, I gotta respect your series.
You said I'm going with the MAGA narratives.
It was in my mind.
So I had a question.
Thug and gangsters.
Yes, these thugs surrounding Ja Morant. These no-face, poo shiesty wearing black men.
What?
But you said you were scared of him.
He actually pulled the blicky on her.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So not to
put no bullets and no Nerf things.
Not to put your business out there.
You can come on, put me on Front Street. Voice of Gen Z.
The voice of Gen Z. No. But you come from a
Homewood.
You from a neighborhood and you from a block. And okay, we're gonna edit.
Hey, just don't look at my camera.
Oh, is that why Ja wants to be a Crip, huh? You see, Skip Bayless was like, does he want to be a Crip? He's throwing up signs.
Community. C for community.
As somebody that has, like, you grew up in a rough environment, right? And you grew up in a place where it was on. Like, you step out your house, it's on. Do you feel a certain type of way that somebody that didn't grow up in that same environment is kind of adopting these, like, you know, I would call them tropes, right? Of like wanting to be gangster or whatever, you know, like, you know, wearing a mask and bringing a gun to your job. You know what I'm saying? Those type of tropes.
Yo.
No,
this episode is not.
We monetized already. No, I don't feel no type of way. It's just like that shit never attracted me. You know what I mean? My people.
So you don't feel like, yo, bro, like you didn't come from this. Why are you trying to be tough? You know what I'm saying? Like, as somebody that came from that, right? You know what I'm saying? You don't feel a certain type of way towards him?
It's kind of like, you know, maybe a little bit, but not too, like, I don't take it too personal. Like, nigga, like, that's his life, you know what I mean? My life. But definitely, you ain't got to do that, bro. You just, like you said, sign $200 million contract.
Yeah.
You in the heat of all these allegations, you going to just
and you
throw down on it.
And you don't feel like that the culture, you know what I'm saying? Like, the rap culture has any influence on his behavior?
Maybe, like, 0.10%.
Oh, wow. 10%. Okay.
10%. I'll give you 10%.
Give me 10%.
Yeah, I mean, because, like, it's in the lyrics, it's in the culture, it's in the movies.
Yeah.
Again, that nigga's his own man.
He's his own man.
He's his own man. He knows. I mean, I don't want to say he knows what he's doing, but he's making these choices.
And I'm saying that to say, like, you know, Miracle, for instance, you know, like, the rap culture influences fashion, right? So people that wear shiesties, right? Like, they literally made, like,
it's a ski mask. People have worn ski masks,
right? But Miracle, they made, this is a designer. Like, they made, like, Balenciaga made like a poo shiesty because, like, the culture, so, like,
shifted.
Yeah, so, like, rap culture affects, like, how people dress. Wouldn't it also possibly affect how people want to be perceived or carry themselves? And it just seems weird to me that, like, a basketball player, like, is free to see how hollows feel. Or you, like, yo, bro, you play basketball. Like, there's no reason for you to behave like this because you're just gonna go, you bounce a ball. You know what I'm saying?
the suburbs have the most guns. The suburbs have the most access to guns. You are actual fact. Given a gun.
Most drugs too.
And you're allowed to play with guns in the suburbs.
That's true.
You're used to threatening people with guns. I know people in my high school had like gun racks and stuff. And it was like weird. Like for me,
that's correct. It's a good point.
I don't really like guns. So it was never something that was interested to me or something that I wanted to flash. Now when I go home, stuff happens, but like it's just not like my thing.
Don't run up on you. Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I said. Don't run up on me. Listen,
announce yourself.
The crew may have it, but for me, when I look at Ja, I think it's twofold. I think people did think he was a suburban kid from this private school, and then they got a bunch of hood niggas from his family, his friends, his pop, because they talked about, first it was, what was the 3 light skinned people? The brothers, Londo,
Lonzo,
the boss.
Dad.
Yeah, I forget what
Triple
the dad's
B.
name.
First, it was the dad. They said the dad was too loud. That dad was too loud, and people didn't like him. Whatever. Then Ja's dad came up, and people were like, "Oh, this is like Unc. He's like, cool.
And he looks just like Usher, so he kind of
out there." He has that. And then they were like, "What? Well, he's enjoying this too much. He's out here smoking, and he's always on the side. Like, is it about his son or is it about him?"
I mean, he ain't going out like Pat Mahomes, dad.
He's smoking on that burrow.
And it started to switch. And so when that switch happened, you also got like, oh, Ja's too this, he's too rough, he's whatever. And it wasn't really talking about his stats. I feel like if Ja was winning more, nobody would care.
I mean, but
it's
the
fact that he's
like a top star.
Yeah, he's a top star.
The Grizzlies are not winning, right?
No, they're the number 2 team. Yeah, they're doing good.
They're solid.
They're doing good. But I think Miracle, to me, it like feels inaughtec.
He's not, but he's not claiming. He's not claiming a set. He's not talking about his struggle.
Supposedly
life.
He was throwing Crips.
But you can also protection. Like Memphis is rough. Like
Memphis. I was gonna say that Memphis is rough, right? Like something.
They took Dolph out in his own neighborhood, at his own stop, his own community. So he did. There are people who have to do stuff to protect themselves. You just saw what's the man from Houston? Oh my God, the Father Prince, I forget his son.
Yes, get killed.
Is it Jazz Prince or whatever? Whatever Father Prince is.
Father Prince. Papa Prince.
He's over here talking about if you don't check in, it gets rough for you. Yeah. So that's also what these players are having to deal with. I don't know what the white players have to do through, but if you have someone literally saying, if you are in my city, you have to check in. When you touch down, I have to know your flight information. It's a little bit different. Well, and I don't know if the NBA is out here.
The NBA is not going to allow. Like, that might be for like a rapper. NBA, they fly private. They have their own private planes. And if Ja felt anything, there was a story that came out where David Stern talked to Carmelo Anthony when Carmelo Anthony was out there kind of on some hood stuff. And basically David Stern was like, I know where you go. I know when you go home. I know when you go to sleep. I know all the people who are around you. I know their backgrounds. I know. And he was like, yo, the NBA's the feds. This is what kind of Carmelo said. Because they have ex-FBI people research all of that. So why? Because Ja Morant is a, not to reduce him to this. He's a cash cow. He is who they want to market as the number 1 star. I do want to come to No Face, man. What do criminals think about this?
We love it. Welcome home.
You love seeing Ja Morant. You're going to welcome him if Ja goes to prison. You're going to welcome him with open arms.
Man, why am I going to be in prison? Who said I'm being in prison?
Any comments on this, brother?
Oh my gosh!
All right. Well, so do you plan on keeping the that on the whole show, or is this just a Ja Morant topic? You know what I'm saying?
It's just like a hat.
The question I have is, how come the media isn't looking at what Ezra Miller listens to? How come Ezra Miller, the face of an entire franchise, $1 billion franchise, isn't being held accountable, but Ja Morant has to be? We look at Ja Morant.
What are you talking about? He's being held accountable.
Well, I'm saying is like, yes, he's being held accountable.
Yeah.
But we're not questioning Ezra Miller's music choice.
No.
We're not questioning.
No.
Are superhero films to blame for Ezra Miller thinking he's a real life supervillain?
I think we're questioning probably drug use.
Okay, we can do that. We can look into mental health. I think that was the biggest thing about Ezra Miller is his mental health, or their mental health secure.
Yeah.
Ja Morant, I don't think Ja Morant is going to say, okay, these rappers are the reason I'm acting like this.
No, of course not.
Of course not. But I also think that Ja Morant isn't an intelligent person.
Isn't?
I don't think that Ja Morant is making intelligent decisions.
Oh, he's definitely not. Well, Miracle said his brain is not fully formed.
I mean, and that's fine, right? We could use that. We could definitely use that because at 23, who were we, right? We weren't, we were out here doing things, allegedly, right? But I think the question, if we really look at this at whole, is
your face hot? My nigga, is your face hot?
I'm good, bro. Yo, man not hot.
Men's not hot.
Man not hot. Is Ja Morant a product of his environment? Is Ja Morant something that, he's trying to be something? Or is Ja Morant looking for acceptance? Is Ja Morant putting on a social media performance? Is Ja Morant really just trying to make basketball interesting off the court? So, is he trying to do maybe who knows? Maybe Ja Morant's trying to get sponsorship for Heckler and Koch.
I don't think so.
We don't know.
This is what he says, because he issued an apology. He says, and this is a quote from Ja Morant, "I take full responsibility for my actions last night. I'm sorry to my family, teammates, coaches, fans, partners, the city of Memphis, and the entire Grizzly organization for letting you down. I'm going to take some time away to get help and work on learning better methods of dealing with my stress and my overall well-being."
And that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I think you do make a point. And reading this statement, and I think it goes back to also what all of you said, right? I might have changed a little bit because I think, he is at 23, in a position where they're trying to make him the face of the NBA, right? The face of a multi-billion-dollar league. He's the new face of Nike after they let Kyrie go. You know what I'm saying? Kobe, may he rest in peace, is gone.
Yeah.
LeBron is on
Jason
it.
Tatum and LeBron. Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, LeBron.
LeBron is on his way out the door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like he's, just like you said, the new face of Powerball. And at 23, and then people are looking and saying, what's Memphis going to do? Even on the court, right? You have all of these great basketball players that just moved to the West, and are you going to win a championship? So he is under a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying? And so, I think I might have, so if you want to go out, hang out at the strip club and have some fun after the show, you know what I mean? I don't have no problem with that.
The guns are the least concern for me. I don't care that Ja has guns.
Obvious. I mean, but you have a mask and a gun, so they would be the least concern to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Listen, I think some of the most iconic, one of the most iconic pictures in Black history is Malcolm standing out the window with the chopper.
True.
Right? So we can't sit here and just demonize guns. And I know that's not what you're doing.
100%.
But gun culture is a part of Black history. It goes all the way back to abolition. It goes to us protecting ourselves after slavery was quote unquote emancipation and all that. And then the Black Panthers fighting for rights. Moving forward to when the Black Panthers had open carry, Ronald Reagan wanted gun reform.
Yeah.
So these are things that exist within Black culture. The issue I had is Ja Morant allegedly picking a fight with a child after a pickup game of basketball.
Yeah.
And then those things are I don't care that he's in a strip club with guns and drunk. I don't care about that. Live your life, bro.
If that's how you want in a strip club with him, might care if he's.
I mean, it's a strip club. Do what you feel. But you ain't playing. You're not playing right now. I get that there's a morality clause and you have responsibilities to the team.
Yeah.
Right. But the issue that's the thing I have the least concern with.
Yeah.
All the other things preceding that's what makes me raise the eyebrow. It's what's the intellect of this individual?
And I think what it is people care about him. People are worried that he might be putting a target on himself, or that on the cusp of changing you talk about your cousins and your family, changing the trajectory of your family forever, right? In terms of finance or generational wealth or whatever, that he might, make a mistake and then it will all go away. And this great potential to be one of the greatest players of all time and, setting you and your family up, for generations could go down. So my thing is coming from a place of love and rooting for the brother, but understanding that mental health piece and the pressure that's on this 23-year-old. If he want to just go have some fun I don't have no issue with that. I agree with you.
We didn't have, like, Kobe didn't have social media.
True.
Michael Jordan didn't have social media.
And Kobe made some dumb mistakes.
Absolutely.
If you even call them dumb.
And Kobe came into the league at 18.
Terrible mistakes. Yeah.
Right? And LeBron came in at 18. But I think there was a different, there's a different
Definitely
mindset.
a different era.
You know what I mean? It was a different era. But, the thing I will say about this is most of us come from a specific environment that's shared. Yeah. Right? Our work is in the community. Our work is in the hood. We go back to the hood all the time. I don't want to be active in the hood anymore.
Yeah.
I left that behind me. Do I know people who are still active? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Do I want to hang around those people? No.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
And we're also not 23.
No,
no.
Like,
we're older.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah, but the thing is like, if you want to keep it tall, even though Ja might not have a family, might not have children, he has more to lose than all of us put together on a financial scale.
Now, do you think, you had a statement that you wanted to make, Miracle. I do have one more question on this. Go ahead. So do you think because I think part of the reason why, as black people, we react and there was kind of like a visceral reaction to Ja Morant with the gun is because we're also in the midst of increasing community violence in our community. And we're talking about gun violence, particularly the black community. And the violence rate is rising in a lot of places now Ja's not contributing to that. But I think some people's fear is that you're a role model, right? And you're supposed to be a role model to young. Is that fair?
What Charles Barkley said.
Put that on Ja Morant?
What did Charles Barkley say?
You tell us. Do you know what Charles Barkley said?
I got no clue.
I'm not a role model.
the Gen Zer does not know. The Z's don't know, bro.
Yeah. Tyler, yeah.
But he is though. Well, maybe not Charles Barkley, but he is. Oh, and
But does he? So I guess the question has always been in hip hop and in sports: just because you have influence, do you have a responsibility?
I would say, I think that again, coming out of Black History Month, coming into Women's History Month, I think as a black person, you do, right? There is that extra piece of because of what you represent. You represent somebody that came, he kind of overlooked, smaller, slighter, but, became this superstar, this NBA superstar. And so I think that I would say I would want all artists to know, what I'm saying? Hey, your role model. And we kind of talked about that at our We Keep a Safe meeting last night. This was what NBA Youngboy's revelation, right? NBA Youngboy, who is, the most streamed rapper. And much of his music was focused on, he came from Baton Rouge. He come from the hood and, his experiences as a person in the hood. But he came to this realization recently and said, hey, I want to change the type of music that I make. My music was affecting the way people thought, the way people saw themselves, maybe even affecting some decisions that they were making. And that realization weighed heavy on him and made him want to make more positive music.
So, I mean, that's fine. And that's great. And I'm not mad at anybody that says they want that responsibility. I don't look at every athlete and I don't look at every performer with someone who has an onus to the responsibility that they have to improve their condition or speak out on some people just don't want that. Some people don't want to say that. And if Ja was to come out and say, hey, listen, I did some reflecting.
He did.
I spent some time.
Yeah. Oh, you mean coming out?
I don't want to be a role model.
Yeah.
I'm going to play basketball.
I mean, clearly you don't because you have a Pooh Shiesty mask on and you brought a gun to work.
Violation.
But would he be wrong for saying, I don't want any of this responsibility? Could you blame him? Because I wouldn't be mad. But
I couldn't be mad at him.
Well, I think I couldn't be mad at him. But then at that point, you might then have to cancel your deals, right? Because with those deals, when you're the face of Nike, the face of Powerade, the face of the Grizzlies, that comes with the expectation.
It does.
That you carry yourself in a particular way. You know what I'm saying? So I would be I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Miracle?
So I think that since Jack Johnson,
wow, you're going back.
Like Jack Johnson.
Do you know Jack Johnson is Gen Z?
The Gen Zs don't know that.
Don't know that nigga.
Media picks black athletes to tear them down.
1,000%.
Think about like Ray Rice. Thinking about like AB. And
well, they didn't pick Ray Rice, Miracle. I mean, Ray Rice was on video.
But they
beating his woman in a very harsh way.
They sat on the video to the day before.
No, the NFL saw that video and was like, "Yo, you get this 2-game suspension." Yeah. So the NFL fucked up. But somebody, I don't know if TMZ got it.
TMZ kept it.
Yeah.
Waited until he was come back, cleaned up the video, edited it out, and then did a whole marketing campaign around it.
Yeah.
For the intention to get him.
With bad intentions,
but
for
you
sure.
know, my MAGA Muslim side
no, but I'm saying that
would say don't put your hands on a woman and you wouldn't have that problem.
They could have released it when they had it. But
they had fuel to the fire.
They intentionally said they cleaned it up, they edited it up.
Okay.
And intentionally dropped it.
I just don't think that's a good example.
It is because there's other Caucasian athletes
who
have mollywopped their significant others.
Yes.
Including Johnny Football, who everybody just was like, he needs mental health help. But like I was saying, like Antonio Brown, the media will pick
also
people.
Not a good example.
No, but think about it. Like what they literally was like.
Was wilding.
No, what did he do? He went live during a post game.
That was a small thing, but he was still on the Steelers. That wasn't people didn't really trip on that.
No, people were going ham on him for that, and then
I think it's when he was like texting women.
It was before that, but it was before
mad sexual wrong shit.
But what was before that, right? But it was like every other day you would have a new Antonio Brown story.
Yeah.
Oh, he was doing this. Oh, he danced like this.
I would argue
that was after he left. The Steelers.
It was after.
There was a lot of
because in Pittsburgh. No one questioned anything Antonio Brown did until
ESPN
I'm just saying.
And other
this is well after.
Yeah, this is definitely after.
But
not
you
when
can
he was
speak
on
on
the
like
Steelers. When he purposely
well.
missed that game, that's when people started to bother.
If you go back and look, once he went live, and they were like Tomlin cussed, and then it was like, does the Steelers have an Antonio Brown problem?
It wasn't that big a deal, but after he left the Steelers. But
before. Anyways,
I think
you can talk about Zach Stacy.
I just think Miracle. That's a bad example because Antonio Brown also added so much fuel to the fire himself. You know what I'm saying? And to me, he did. I mean, he got arrested multiple times. He was, throwing sexual toys at his baby's mom.
He
did mad stuff. What do you mean beat at it as May?
A lot
sit
of these
down and shut up, bro.
What I was saying is they'll
just shut up and dribble. That's what he should have did.
No.
They'll pick these athletes and they will have a new story about them every single day. A lot of the stories that the Washington Post was from a year ago, right? A lot of this stuff happened last year.
100%.
Now we get to learn about it. Now it's like, oh, we got this thing happened. And they won't stop. And so what I'm also seeing is looking at how some of these media outlets will intentionally create these narratives that there are issues and there are problems for these athletes because they do not want them to be the role models for their people and for their children. And so it's not also a fair shake because then there have been other athletes who were in Vegas fighting people. There have been other athletes who have done domestic violence. There were
OJ.
At the same time there were multiple Steelers players who had issues, including the one that had a domestic violence issue that we really did not see.
But he got a lot. There was a lot of press around Ben Roethlisberger as well.
The other white man that got.
Okay. But I would say this, Miracle. I agree with you. I just think you chose bad examples. But overall, I agree with you because you have somebody like a LeBron James who has been a kind of attack, and he's never done anything. He's building schools, he's doing all types of policy making. Space Jam 2 wasn't that great, but we're going to attack this brother for that. So I think there are. And
I'm not talking about the good athletes. That's what I was pointing.
Well, I mean, Miracle. If you commit crimes, they're going to tell a story about you.
No.
Miracle. What's going on?
Iverson and how people talk about the one that when he was practice or talking about practice and how really he was talking about he just lost a bunch of people. And he was trying to do his job.
And he was one of the greatest NBA players at the time. And it's you're talking about practice. Come on, I'm the greatest.
How the media twisted that, right?
100%.
And Allen Iverson was also someone who was who had issues during his career. So what I'm talking about is these athletes who may have issues. They don't have the opportunity to actually correct the situation.
Why don't they have that opportunity?
They're gaining so much pressure through the media who are going to amplify every little thing that they do to the point where it's almost being weaponized against them.
I agree.
For instance, when Antonio Brown was talking about, hey,
this
contract is unfair, this issues is happening, I'm actually hurt. Nobody really cared. And then they were like, oh, okay, well, maybe, he shouldn't have been playing because he was actually injured.
Because he went on the field and like quit in the middle of a game and threw all of this stuff off.
Because they lied to him during the middle of the game. And then
come on, Miracle. Like, come on.
But that's the thing.
That's a horrible example. Antonio Brown is a horrible example.
He is a perfect example of someone who has been harmed by the actual NFL and disrespected by the NFL, but we don't even think about that because the media has shown all of his antics in a certain way.
No, it's not.
As someone who shot Antonio Brown a lot of bail.
Yeah, that's a terrible example.
He's one of my favorite athletes, and I think really and truly, he will be in the Hall of Fame. He's one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. But
I agree with that.
This is what I said. But let me finish. When he was in the Pittsburgh Steelers system, right? Mike Tomlin did a great job of having a relationship with Antonio Brown because you never heard an abundance of bad things.
Yep, never heard it.
With him at the organization. Did he cause a couple disturbances here and there?
Absolutely.
Yes. We can also have to have a serious conversation about Antonio Brown and CTE, but that's a different discussion.
It's a different discussion.
That's a different discussion.
Right.
What I will say, after his life coach dropped him, his legal team gave him heavy counsel to cease and desist his orders, or not orders, his behaviors. He even had management and other NFL personnel reach out to him and offer him assistance. Yeah. All of which he complied with. Until he didn't.
Yeah, he stayed in like Tom Brady's house. And so I think like there's a difference between like self-sabotage. Like he was sabotaging himself. Now,
do I think he was given a raw deal? Absolutely.
100% I agree.
I think Antonio Brown was definitely shitted on by the NFL. 100%. However,
all of them
he didn't do himself any help.
No, he sabotaged himself. And that's the thing. Like I said, I agree with you in terms of, are black athletes looked at differently than white athletes? Yes. Yeah. Are black athletes more, criticized more? Like you said, a white athlete with a gun is no big deal. Like white people got guns all the time. It's looked at differently. And I agree. Does the media like build you up to tear you down? Yes. I just think like that, like you doing something like as abhorrent as what Ray Rice did, like you can't really blame an outlet for getting that video and putting that out. Like you have to take personal responsibility, and we never saw that dude again. And I think there's parts of a lot of what Antonio Brown did. You was wilding, dog. Like you were wild. And like you said, could that be some health related issues to how he was treated in the NFL? Possibly. But I don't think you can, like, if I can't like be setting everything on fire and be mad that I'm burning up. Hey, why are y'all filming my house on fire? Like somebody keeps putting it out. You keep lighting a match. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's different. And I think that's kind of what it seemed like Ja was doing. And, they called him Ja Warrant instead of Morant. the internet, the internet's going to go crazy. But hopefully now, like, I can understand a young man trying to just, I just want to hang out with these are my friends. This is my family. We hang out like this. This is what calms me down. This is what gets me ready for the next day because of the amount of pressure he's under and that being like weaponized against him. I agree with you on that. I think Iverson's a good example.
Gilbert Arenas. We're forgetting Gilbert Arenas.
No, but if you even like, if you talk, but if you talk to them now, if you talk to Iverson now, if you talk to Meta World Peace now,
manifesting
Jalen Rose,
to Allen Iverson.
Jalen Rose just did a beautiful piece, and I don't know if you saw Jalen Rose. He said, "I'm Ja Morant. I went through this. Carmelo Anthony has spoken, and they all say." I would have done this differently. Like I would have conducted myself differently in those moments. And they're actually trying to offer mentorship and support to Ja Morant. And to me, that's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see these legendary figures, these brothers like helping and surrounding this other brother in a way that's beautiful. So that's why I share what Jalen Rose said, because it wasn't judgmental. You know what I'm saying? It was actually showing love and support. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I love like that Jalen Rose spoke on that because Rose, we talked about this. Yeah. Jalen Rose came from one of the most violent cities in the history of America.
Absolutely.
Jalen Rose is involved with his fair share of unintelligent decisions, right? A fair share. And but the thing is that Jalen Rose has had the privilege of growing older and gaining wisdom.
He made it.
He made it, right? So the thing is, it's like, we want Ja to make it. I can't wait to buy Ja sneaker, personally. I love. It's
going to match your mask.
He has one that does, right?
I know you're going to carry your Nerf gun with it when you get it.
Don't.
I know you're going to do that pose. Yeah. Gonna do that. So I didn't realize. I didn't realize we were going to talk about. So are you going to keep? Because we got mad other stuff to talk about.
Why is he covering it?
He going to keep it on.
One of the other things,
because we keip us safe.
Yeah.
One of the other things. Exactly. Hopefully they know this is comedy.
We cannot edit
this episode is all over the place. This has to be like heavily edited.
It does not. Because I'm not doing nothing.
But you know what? It's like it is hard to hear. You're muffled because you have the mask over your mouth.
I'm speaking right to the microphone.
I know, but it's still a muffle that you can hear because you have something covering your mouth. So I don't know.
Austin, can you hear me?
Perfectly clear, brother. We can hear you, but I'm just saying, like, your voice is muffled because you literally have cloth over your mouth. So,
because we're supposed to be wearing masks.
Okay, so
is COVID still out here? Push off, bucko.
Separation. Is the mask so when you fight another black person in front of white people that they don't actually see you?
I was brought up to not fight in front of white people.
Were you?
We don't fight in front of white people. Hey, I'm sorry, Jack, but you ain't gonna see us fight today.
So one of the other, I guess, big news that came over the weekend was the return of Chris Rock. Chris Rock did his special that was live.
Selective Outrage.
Live on Netflix. It was called Selective Outrage. I watched it live, and you know, he had some good jokes. He had some jokes that flopped, but we were all waiting for what he was going to say about, the most, you might argue that this is one of the most public humiliating events that happened in the history of the world, right? Like when Chris Rock dies, they're going to play the clip of him getting smacked at the Oscars. You know what I'm saying?
Damn shame.
No, that's just the reality. That's how big. that's how big of an event it is. And he knows this, right? And he knows this. So for the first time, Chris Rock spoke about Will and Jada, and he was mad.
Chris Rock slapped back.
The slap back.
The slap back.
The slap back. Did you all? I know Miracle. You're on record. You were boycotting.
He's just not for me.
Okay,
I saw some of the. I saw the main takeaways.
Right.
Shout out to Twitter.
And you just wasn't.
No,
he was hurt. He had tears in his eyes.
You know how like in like middle school there was that one kid you just did not like.
Yeah.
That was like annoying.
Yeah.
And then maybe something happened, had a glow up in like high school.
Yeah.
And then like wanted everybody to know that they glue up. That's what Chris Rock reminds me.
You mean like he reminds you of Michael B. Jordan on the red carpet? Oh, you called me corny when I was in 5th grade, my nigga? Look at me now, okay? All-star.
I see him as like that one kid who was like, in 5th grade, you didn't invite me to my birthday party and won't let it go. Yeah. Like, I just do not understand his...
But he did. This is different. Okay, he was smacked in front of the whole world.
And sometimes you gotta...
You just got to suck that up, Miracle.
Never mind.
You got to suck that up and go away?
Sometimes you got to break somebody down to build them.
Oh,
he just stayed down.
Miracle hit him with the Jesus Squad. Sometimes the Lord will break you down, but he has some science to what he's doing.
Pride coming before the fall.
He's going to build you up.
But Chris Rock is proof that you cannot smack sense into some people, because my thing is, if you smack
where the gunshots?
Wow.
I disrespect your wife, and then I come back with the whole special and disrespect your wife again. It's like you Ja Morant. Like, clearly you asked me to escalate.
Yeah.
Like, at what point does it, like, just leave me and my family alone? And he can't do that. It's like the one thing that you were told right after the most.
But who's he to him? You know, like, he's not his pops.
Okay, well then you'll get slapped again.
Keep that same energy.
Now but you're gonna bite the pavement. I told you to like leave.
Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. I mean, that's what he said.
The slap did let me know I have an affinity for violence that I have to work through.
But you got a problem. You got a problem with this.
Because you pointed at me and pulled the trigger.
So that's not violence. I thought you love violence.
Didn't you just say
you have an affinity for violence?
I didn't earn anything for you to be violent upon me.
I thought you were a proud colorist.
For those that are
clearly because you with your fake little bait, pull shiesty mask and your fake little gun, shooting at people. Yes, I have a reason to be colorist.
Can I make a point? Clearly, we need Trouble's energy because this is so chaotic right now. Like, we need Trouble to balance us out.
A weapon and pointed it at all of us.
So for those that are listening, just to the
producers.
So for those that are just listening, just to the audio, it's a Nerf gun. Just if you're audio only,
it's not a real.
It's a Nerf,
completely plastic.
It's a Nerf gun.
There was no.
Although he did
foam darts.
He did hit people with some foam darts. You were saying no face. What was you saying?
Nah, I think that, like, there's a discourse around all of this and what Miracle is saying. Like, I get what you're saying on a human level.
Yeah.
But the moment we start, like, I don't like the idea that I'm not mad. I was a fan of Will Smith smacking Chris Rock, personally, right? I had no problem with that. That's what you felt you had to do in the moment to defend your family. Cool. I'm not mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Do it again if you need to.
That's not what he had to do. But go ahead.
But. I don't like the precedence this sets that you can run up on a comic because you don't like what he said doing his job.
That wasn't a comic. That was somebody had beef with.
No, still, that's no different.
Talk shit, get hit. What are you talking about?
There's no difference than someone getting fouled on a basketball court and then having some niggas coming. No, it's a game, Miracle. It's a game.
Or if you go to the comedy club, you sit in the front row and the comedy start joking on you, the comedy start joking on you.
It's
a joke.
It's jokes, man. The contract of the ticket. However,
there's no however on this.
Miracle, they're at the Oscars.
We're beefing.
They're at the Oscars, Miracle.
No, he shouldn't. That's fine. That's fine. But
beefing, and you think the privilege of the Oscars
he should have
allow you to disrespect me, and I'm just going to sit there and take it. Well,
there's a lot of other ways, though. There's a lot of other ways, though. He could have like.
Okay, so once. Okay, so
and that happened.
No, it happened, but it's like so. Chris just has to take that.
Chris can tell a different joke.
But that's the thing. You can't expect a comedian.
You disrespect me. He's not a comedian. He's a bully.
He's a comedian.
He's a bully.
He's one of the greatest comedians.
Will Smith's the bully.
Chris Rock is a bully. He's been bullying Jada for years.
Chris Rock's been bullied.
Waiting, and he really thought that the Oscars was going to protect him. You got to think about. There are some people who know.
Name a comedian that doesn't target somebody though.
He has a personal vendetta against Jada. Nobody knows why. But he has been going after her since the early 90s, almost 2 decades.
To where he did his live show in her hometown?
To that point. Something is off with this man.
I mean,
he needs help.
I don't see. That's the thing. Maybe it's because I'm not a black woman. I'm not saying.
It's not about black women.
You might be if you open up. We don't know who's under that mask.
No, but if you don't. Edit point. Take that out. If there's someone you do not like and you have not liked them for years, and it's like, and every time you see each other, y'all have smoke, and the person really thinks, oh, I'm at this award show or I'm at this fundraiser, I'm gonna say something slick to you, and I'm gonna get away with it.
Do you think Jada? Do you think like as they were getting ready, Jada said like, oh, Chris is gonna be speaking?
No.
Wait, no, and then was like, what if you say something slick about me? What you gonna do?
I think Will Smith has been very honest. That he was stressed out. He thought he was going to lose the Oscar, all type of stuff. And here comes this one person who he don't like pulling some shit at the it was.
But just, I think
but is this okay? Now let me ask.
He has a Source Award.
Let me add.
People ran up on
somebody
stage,
got stabbed,
and now he's acting like the Oscar slap is that big of a deal.
No, it's not that big of a deal. But I'm asking you, Miracle, because Chris Rock referenced the infamous Red Table Talk. do you think that the basically the Jada's infidelity being made public, and then them doing that red table talk where she admitted that she had an affair with Jaden's friend who was living with them, and that public humiliation for Will, do you think that also played a part in Chris Rock getting smacked? Do you agree with Chris on that point?
Yeah, and I think that's why also Chris was like, ha ha, as well. I think he was taking advantage of that.
Okay,
like, oh, your wife bitched you out, and now I'm gonna bitch you out again.
Shit.
But that's what.
You forgot you was being recorded.
I think Chris is not like a villain, but he's someone who is very deliberate and intentional about. I don't think he got up there and was just going off the cuff.
Right.
I think he was someone who was very intentional about.
I mean, yeah, it's rote. It's definitely calculated, and
he just got pushback that he wasn't prepared for. So what? Like, should Will Smith have yelled at him and laughed it off or checked him like behind the scenes? Possibly.
But what's crazy
in
is
that moment he didn't.
Will Smith did laugh at the joke, and it was Jada that didn't like it, which got him to slap him.
Yeah.
So again, this is how I feel about it, and I said this on the show before.
You like crime? We know.
I didn't say anything. Why are you putting words in my mouth?
Allegedly.
You heard.
Does he
Somebody
like crime?
sounded like
if I laugh at a joke about my wife and my significant other because I think it's funny,
and then you look over at her
and she's tight, I gotta go home with her.
100%.
That's the car ride I have to take.
100%.
Are you gonna smack her? I mean him. Him. Not her.
What?
No domestics.
Come on, Antonio.
If my wife gives me that look that I've been with her for 25, 30 years and I know what that look means.
Yeah.
Gotta do what you gotta do because regardless of Hollywood's influence, regardless of anything, I have to go home to this person.
And I don't want to re-legislate. I mean, we had to talk about this smack.
Yeah.
But how did you feel about Chris's reaction?
In the comedy?
Yes.
So I thought the stand-up, this is how I would expect Chris Rock to respond.
Yes, me too.
This is exactly like this is how anybody,
maybe funnier, but maybe not as
emotional.
Hurt. Yeah, emotional. Yeah, he's very emotional.
He was obviously hurt.
Yeah.
He messed up a joke in it.
Yeah.
He was clearly disturbed by the fact, and he had said, "I love Will Smith. I watched him go open for Run DMC. I bought his albums. I listened to his music. I loved all the films.
Yeah."
The personal beef aside, it has nothing to do with what transpired because there's still two people in a similar industry that are going to compete eventually.
Yeah.
Chris's response was exactly what you would expect from someone who can't physically fight back.
100%.
He's going to do what someone bigger than you picking on you or hitting on you is going to do. You're going to use your wits. You're going to use what you have at your disposal to fire back.
His weapon is his comedy
and his wit.
That's
right?
his weapon.
His wit.
So then you would say that he assaulted them first. His words are his weapon. Okay.
You see how she just tried to lawyer you?
Case closed.
Damn, that was a good point right there. I ain't gonna lie.
But I guess my only beef with it is like the last line. And my only problem was like, don't say, oh, you talk about how much bigger he is than you. You
sound like Drake when Pusha T diss you.
Yeah, you talk about that he has a show up in movies, you don't. You talk about like he purposely picked on you because you were somebody he knew he could beat. And then you say, oh, the reason I didn't fight back is because I was told not to fight in front of white people. No, you didn't fight back because you knew you were going to get your ass kicked. Mm-hmm. I mean, just keep it real, bro. Don't put the I don't fight in front of white people. Don't try to make it race related when that had nothing to do with it.
Tell him step outside.
No, you knew that if I was raised.
I just think it's so funny to me that he slapped him and didn't punch him.
I was ready. Like, as soon as he turned his back, you getting tackled, and we just going to And if I lose, I lose. Right. But I don't care if you...
But at least you stepped.
Hey, if Shaq comes up and smacks me, guess what? I'm going right for the lower region, and we grumbling. Now, am I going to lose? More than likely. But you're not just gonna smack me and I'm gonna just turn around and go home
in front of millions
and eat some pudding in the crib. No, man. I'm going to the hospital
before. So, like, I get how it feels, but it's also like you either put up or you shut up 100%. And you move on.
Yeah.
And for me, a whole year later, like, yes, congrats, you got some money to talk about like the worst thing of your life.
Yeah.
And you're able to have like a little tour or whatever.
Yes.
But it's just like, bruh, like it was one little slap.
Well, we can't say little.
Everybody.
He said he gave him a concussion, Meryl.
He pulled one
that
incident,
back.
and everybody took your side.
But it wasn't. Not the black people. I mean, all the white people took his side.
The white people,
they was called. It was like Will should get a 20-year prison. They made it seem like Will did something wild.
Took your side. Yeah. So like, what do you need now? Like,
he needs to tell the world how he feels.
Yeah,
obviously, a year later, he should have done that in 2 months.
Obviously, needs some therapy, but then he got to get the bag, Miracle. It got to be the build up.
Part of me still believes that shit was staged.
Then also, come
on.
Probably for the past year, this is all people have been saying to him. Like,
and then Miracle, like, he has daughters. They go to school, somebody, what? Don't make me get Will Smith. Go smack your father down one more time. So, he's had to deal with this. Literally, like, he needs therapy. He needs brunch with a black man. He needs therapy. But, like, I agree with you.
He'll come on the show after today.
And then I think like there's a thing of, again, like, you should know. I think, like you said, like, if I'm gonna make fun of somebody's wife, I might gotta be a little bit ready. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, maybe Chris Rock felt he was safe, whatever.
See, he needs the jaw training to understand when you're in the
put out that jaw.
If you're gonna be reckless, you gotta be able to protect yourself.
That would if Chris Rock had pulled out, hold on. Get your ass
back down,
back in your seat, nigga. It ain't going down. He probably is carrying a gun right now. I mean, if you're Chris Rock,
talk about the way Will Smith buttoned his jacket. Like,
Will Smith did anything to this man. I ain't gonna lie.
But I get.
There were mad other things we had to talk about.
People, violence is not the answer.
Depends on what the question is.
This has been the most violent show we've ever had. We have this dude over here shooting guns, Miracle over here cheering on. Did you see how Will gracefully walked back to his seat,
analyzing the slap,
fire out that nigga's face? Like, this episode, y'all might not see this episode,
but it also shows that violence does
not
work.
We have an interview to play on Tuesdays.
But I will say that this does show that violence does not work.
Yes, in both cases, yes.
Will Smith said, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth."
Yes.
And Chris said her name 80 times during his special.
He did not actually say her name.
He referenced her multiple times. And he called her out of her name. He called her the B word.
Racial animus toward African Americans.
So
we got to talk about that.
Hold on. Pause.
So he escalated. In my opinion, Chris Rock was like, "I'm gonna escalate this."
Yes.
So I'm not saying Will Smith is gonna run down on him and would be right if he did. But what I am saying, this shows that like violence sometimes just creates more violence.
It does.
And that's why we have to keep our hands to ourselves.
Lord have mercy. So we're at the hour. We're past an hour.
That was quick. That was quick.
We're being told to wrap it up. We have mad other stuff to talk about. We didn't get into Trump saying that
Trump sounded like Tulsa Doom.
Yeah, he's the retribution for white America. We didn't get into the Capitol Police just leading the white supremacist shaman around the Capitol. We might have to record a whole nother show, man.
Let's do it.
We might have to just throw this show.
Keep this in the tuck.
This is a great episode.
You will never see.
You might not ever see this episode.
It's a great episode, man.
We will discuss our with our team as to whether or not
this is must see TV. I don't know what you're talking about.
This episode.
Want to send out clips?
Must see TV.
We know a certain TV provider is not showing this. Why not? So
nothing was bad on here.
Literally,
you were shooting people with
glizzy.
It's a Nerf gun.
We can't. You have something over your mouth the whole episode.
Everybody can hear me fine. Play the audio back. You good?
There's a book on here. Oh my God! Yes, revive us again, Lord, please. Lord, please.
Not with the foul rap. Not with the foul rap.
Do you hear me preaching? You're talking to my soul, Lord. Revive us again.
Don't bring God into this.
Vision and action. I'm sorry. I'm getting our white pages. Vision and action in moral organizing, the Reverend Dr. William J. Barber II. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dr. Barber, doing great work. He did the Moral Monday movement.
Sounds like from what you told me, you and him have a lot in common.
And it was just the anniversary of the March on Selma. He was one of the people.
Wow.
Who
Bloody Sunday.
Who led the prayer for Bloody Sunday. So again.
So support this book. And then also, this Saturday, if you're not doing anything, what you should be doing is coming to Next Level Stanza.
Next Level Stanza.
You can buy your tickets
if
now.
You're in the Pittsburgh area.
In the Pittsburgh area, right. It's at Kelly Strayhorn Theater.
KST.
You're spinning DJ QRS?
No, DJ Nate 08.
Oh, DJ Nate 08 is DJing. It's a band performing and some of the top poets in Pittsburgh. Shout out to Bernard Alexander, who's helping us organize it. Shout out to Trouble for doing that organizing as well. I think that's it. We're also March 9th, just for everybody nationwide. It's a nationwide day of action, encouraging people to stop Cop City. So look in your local area. We have something going on here. We have a collaboration with a bunch of other organizations, a teach-in for those that don't know about what's going on at Cop City in Atlanta. So March 9th is the day of action. We're encouraging everybody to participate in that. And with that being said, any final comments? Okay. How was your first show experience, Austin?
I'm here for the Gen Zs.
Yes, the Zs. We messed it up. Although cool. Voice of the Millennial sounds better.
Voice of the Millennials does sound better.
But you're the Zs.
I don't want to be the voice for you
voice
old
of
niggas.
The Zs. Oh, wow. Voice of the Zs.
Voice of the C's.
Just one to call
us,
old.
Voice of the C's. Us Brussels sprout.
Nah, you can come to the Z's, Miracle. You cool.
Miracle, final comments? Is there any more problematic black men you would like to defend?
All of them. I will defend them.
Someone's got to.
Rose definitely switched this show. Rose definitely switched.
Right, we did. It was crazy.
Choose love, resist violence, stop Cop City.
I thought you said you love violence.
Peace.
I'm trying to rebrand.
We can't even end.
Can't even end. Trouble, we need you. We need you.